Well, I guess imagine being the last one to clap like some kind of idiot.
Previously on Basement Discourse, Jace still hates Free Guy, and some other stuff that I've forgotten about.
There we go. Flawless.
It works. I like it.
Alrighty. So welcome to Basement Discourse. It is episode 5. I remembered. I'm Jace, the gamer guy. There's Brady, the weeb. And there's Justin over there. He's the moon, but less of the moon today.
Correct.
Yeah, let's quickly, Justin, I want a round of applause. I'm going to put one in the edit regardless.
Well, thank
We
you.
can now see you. Our audience can see you. Thank you for the upgrade. We appreciate it.
Right?
And even the people on Spotify and Apple Music can see you. That's how good of an upgrade it is.
We went from
Finally.
grainy 1 pixel Justin to, oh my God, he has paws.
Right? Look how white my teeth look. They're not white.
Mine don't look white, but the
fantastic.
wine might have something to do with that.
Alrighty. So podcast has begun, and now we should throw this over to Brady. I want to know. I want to know because Brady's DMing me. He's like, "You got to throw it to me, bro. You got to throw it to me," and then he hasn't said why.
No, because I'm all about the intrigue and then the disappointment. No, I actually want to talk about something that I feel like Justin might be too embarrassed to talk about. But I'm going to preface first by saying that he has never complained about any of his players, not once. But as someone from the outside coming in, and we recorded our Christmas special, and Jace, you had this experience as well, I saw just how much fucking hard work goes in by a dungeon master, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Monstrous amounts. And I know that there's a certain thing when you get into a hobby, you don't immediately want to invest in it because of money and all that. But DMs should probably be paid. Just
That's someone else though, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
That's the
as
problem.
a topic that I know Justin would never bring up. It doesn't have to be like I don't have to talk about finances here, but like I think it's pretty wild to me that there's this whole world out here. I don't think people realize how much work goes into being a DM. So we can stick to that side instead of the money side if that's easier and more comfortable for you, Justin. But DMs work hard, right? They need to know a monstrous amount of lore. They need to know a monstrous amount of rules and sub-rules just in case somebody has read some weird thing that they've got to be ready for it. And then sometimes, and if you've watched our Christmas special, the players will do weird shit. And you need to be ready to work on the fly. And Justin very much embodied that. So Justin, I guess, like, if there's a question in this, mostly I just want to raise awareness for DMs everywhere. But if there is a question in this,
throw a coin to your DM.
do you feel that you guys are valued enough? And do you think it would be better if there was a bit of change in that field?
Oh, dude, like anyone who can, do their hobby and get paid for it, bravo. Like, that's awesome. I think that's great.
No, okay, but let's be clear here. You bought 3D printers.
Yeah, for sure.
As well as the material. This isn't a hobby as in like, I like to go golfing on the weekend with my mates. I bought some clubs. They last me 20 years.
True.
This is a continuous investment on knowledge, time, and money.
Yeah, I suppose. And there's a lot of source books, like they're books. There's a lot of source books out there.
And this is what happens.
And they're all like, $50 a piece. And then there's the paints for painting your minis. There's the time involved in painting a mini. There's the subscriptions. I'm subscribed. I'm only subscribed to one, but I know a lot of people are subscribed to more of like 3D printing companies. So a lot of the minis you guys saw on the Christmas one shot that you definitely have all watched is they're all from Loot Studios. Very cheap, actually. Surprisingly, they're only like $30 per month, which is great. But that's, it's $30 a month.
Yeah.
For some 3D files that I may or may not print in my 3D printer that I also buy with the resin that I also purchase with the paint that I also paint them in. So yeah, I suppose there is a lot of investment. But
and to be fair, I wasn't talking about making a weekly income. All I mean is do you feel like the value is returned? I know you love your hobby and you love to have players sitting at your table, but without insulting your players because you love them and you want them to keep coming.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's been an even close to even trade?
Yeah, look, it's
you're a nice
enjoyable.
guy.
It is enjoyable to have them come in and be like, "What have you made this week?" Like, holy crap! Look at this cool piece. Look at that. And some of the stuff that I'm doing, it's fairly thrifty. So some of the stuff doesn't cost me, tens to 20s to hundreds of dollars. It costs me a couple. Yeah. Well, most of the terrain that you guys had seen in the Christmas one shot that you definitely have watched was all made from foam. So it probably total cost about $10. So
yeah, but you painted
plus
it, right?
time and stuff like that. Yeah.
I'm not talking about a monetary value and that all DMs should get a certain amount per game, but I am saying, do you feel like you guys should be valued a little bit more, and that people getting into D&D, fair enough, game one, they just show up, see if they like it.
Yeah.
But I mean, when people get into a sport, they pay a subscription to be there in some form or another, a registration, and then they pay a game rate.
I think as soon as you start putting a price on something like this, though, they expect a certain thing to come out of it. So if they have a bad session or if certain characters start to die because of their bad decisions, then it could get a bit weird between you and the players as well. So they could be like, "Hey, why'd you kill my character?" And we're like, "Well, because you're a fucking idiot and you tried to fight 20 dudes. You were meant to run, but you didn't. You stayed around." So, but I think that they would then be like, "Well, I'm paying for this, so I don't want to die," and stuff like that. I don't know, it could get awkward. That said, yeah, sure, it'd be awesome to get paid to do this. It'd be that's the dream. That's every DM's dream, is to get paid to do this.
That's cool, man. I don't want to pressure you like a crazy person. I just wanted to bring the topic up because I know there's no chance you will.
It's seeing the players' face and stuff, and the effort you put in. They're like, "Wow, that's amazing." It is cool and it is rewarding, but there is a lot to it, I suppose. So yeah, you're right. It's way. Yeah, you know what? I actually quit.
Great.
Shit.
Great. Thanks, Brady.
So,
sorry.
Fuck this. Yeah.
But no, off. That was one thing I was thinking about, because I spent 850 freaking hours editing the full version of the one shot that we did. There is so much of that one shot that clearly was intended to exist that just didn't, because of A, time constraints, and B, because we're idiots and spent, I think, if I remember correctly, it was about an hour and 40 minutes before we had left that first dungeon in the pure raw cut. Yeah, sorry, the first room.
Yeah, about an hour and a half.
When I cut it down, we got it to about 43 minutes.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so
the work I put
so
in
much.
and the story and stuff, I think it definitely got lost in translation a little bit. The whole cobbler thing and the fight and whatever. I'm not going to ruin it because spoilers. I mean, you should have watched it. I'm sure you have watched it, but
just in case, guys, go back and watch the Christmas special. Everyone put in a lot of work, but no one more than Justin.
It's all good. It's all for the fun.
We showed up. We did a lot of hours.
Look,
Jace did a lot of hours.
The thing is, I put the work in the front end. You guys are putting the work in the back end.
Oh, mate, I'm always putting work in the back end.
As soon as I said, I was like, this is not going to end well.
But you run D&D with us. Why would you say the word back end?
Yes, this is true.
Yeah, I think the thing... I think the thing is, it's a little different with how we did the one shot, because Brady brought all that audio gear and he brought his laptop and stuff.
Yep.
I brought a whole bunch of cameras and all my storage media and stuff like that. Your average session doesn't go like that. Like,
No.
I don't think you have
No, you're right.
randos from like down in Mossy just showing up and being like, all right, so I've brought my red epic here and we're just going to shoot this.
Yeah.
Peter Jackson will be directing it. Yeah, so I think the amount of effort that Brady and I have put into this is not tantamount to what an average D&D player does.
Correct.
And like the moment I sat down at the table, I put in like zero effort. I was just being the same idiot that I am all the fucking time.
Yep.
So like there was zero work from me really.
That's kind of why I wanted to talk about it, but I'm glad we got you to a place where you were happy to admit that there is a lot of value in DMs, and
For
maybe
sure.
that's not
Definitely.
being received by every player. And this is not to put anyone off D&D. Please go and play. Watch our Christmas special because Jace is someone who's never played. I've only played a few games. Justin is obviously a seasoned specialist, and our guest Zach has played a lot as well. But it's really approachable if you're with the right people. And it's so much fun and you can do crazy things. And if your DM is doing their job, they'll allow and deal with your shit.
Yep. That's
It's
You get a lot of
do
DMing
play,
is like,
but please value your DM. It doesn't have to be monetary, but do something because I saw how much work went into that. And like, damn, man.
Just never forget, kiss your homies.
Hats off, you know?
well, thanks, fellas.
Oh no, I'm not kissing your ass. Like I'm gonna shit on you for the rest of the episodes.
Yeah, he was just sweetening you up. He's going to tell you that you're a piece of shit in 5.
Fantastic.
Yeah. How much anime you watched this week, Justin?
Zero.
Piece of shit.
Zilch.
Piece of shit.
All right, so
Actually, lies. I did watch some Death Note, and I did see the potato chip episode that you were referring to a few episodes back. So, thank you.
Do you
Yes.
get the meme? Is it
I have-
funny?
I've not seen the meme.
yeah,
Wait,
like,
did you-
I've seen
hang
the
on.
show, but I haven't seen
Did you
the
watch
meme.
it in English or Japanese?
I don't know because it changes back and forth, so I'm not sure.
No, but the potato chip episode.
Yeah, I don't know.
he's watched a few episodes. He might not remember what language he saw it in.
yeah,
Right.
They're
so
always
it's funny
mixed.
regardless, but it's definitely very funny in English. And I don't feel bad for spoiling and saying what happens in this, but it's this thing where he reaches in and just the way they delivered the lines was like it was leading up to an epic moment. And then he's just kind of like, I'll take a
the
potato chip and eat it. And that was the epic line that like crescendoed it. And it was like, what? So fucking, what?
I would like to like commend you, Brady, because you are usually the most ineloquent person as far as your vocabulary, and yet you manage to use crescendo quite well. Bravo.
Thank you. I'll take it. I am a bogan from Hilltop. The town I grew up in is called Hilltop.
And it's not even at the top of a hill.
No, it really isn't. It's just in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like something that could be out of like The Hobbit, though. The hilltop.
But thank you. Yeah, no, I'm very
I
much.
mean,
a
Brady is
bogan
kind
fan.
of short, so
Yeah. He probably has hairy feet
Taller than
too.
Jace.
No, he's not. He's not 7'4".
No. But I am a 15-year-old high school student.
That's true. Anyway, to kill this and move on. So the other thing from the end of the previous episode was to try shit that we normally don't like. What did you get up to, Brady?
What did I get up to that I don't like? I mean, I've still been pushing through with JoJo, so maybe I wasn't the best person to throw to because I do like anime in general, but as I've gotten older, when I hear about something that takes X amount of time to get into, I am pretty much instantly turned off.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I've spoken about JoJo on previous episodes, and you've mentioned a knowledge of what it is. The art style is bizarre. It's literally called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But everything I heard was like, you got to watch the first season, which is the first 2 parts of the manga. So it's part 1, part 2, if you're a fucking weird elitist and you need to talk about it that way, before you actually enjoy it, which put me off because I was like, what do you mean I have to consume a certain amount of media before it's even enjoyable?
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm kind of too old. I'm too busy. I don't have time to be doing that shit.
And then you found the time to do that shit.
Yeah, I was going to say, he says, as he talks about finding the time to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
Well
wasn't
done,
really
mate.
this week, in fairness. No, that's the only thing I'm still pushing through with. And I have to be honest, it has turned a corner and it has gotten much better. I still kind of resent that it took that much to get into. But no, I think in fairness, as much as you tried to do a nice segue there, I wouldn't throw to me this week because I didn't participate in stuff that I didn't enjoy.
I'm a little disappointed because I was really hoping that you'd end up going with watching like Toradora or a slice of life anime, like I suggested.
I know.
And you
I'm
failed me.
sorry. It's like we've been both working hard on this Christmas episode all week.
No, I didn't do anything. I've just been sitting around.
You honestly did the harder lifting.
Yeah. I haven't watched any anime, sadly.
That's fine, man.
My server died again.
Justin, have you participated in anything you didn't that you perceived as not something you would enjoy this week?
Not really. Haven't had a
we
huge
all
amount of
failed the
time.
task.
Yeah, we
Is that
really
where we're
have.
at?
We've failed at hating things. I haven't done a lot this week. Been a lot of work leading up to the Christmas period, of course, at actual work. But I did play a really, really epic final episode of the Star Wars campaign that I'm a part of, which was...
Doesn't sound like something
Wait.
you wouldn't enjoy.
It is not something I wouldn't enjoy. It was something I knew I would definitely enjoy. And it was very enjoyable. So at the end...
So, Basement Discourse, welcome to the D&D episode.
I know, right?
No, it's cool. It's cool. Keep going.
No, I like it.
DM
This
Zach,
isn't
so-
D&D anyway. It's tabletop RPG. It's fun.
This is true. This is a totally different
Actually,
thing.
you know what? Can you please define a few things for us? Because we haven't done that thus far,
Yeah, sure.
in fairness. So for anyone listening who's listening because they like anime or because they like gaming and they have a vague interest in D&D, describe tabletop and then describe what's called virtual tabletop? No. You said
You
it
mean
a
like-
second ago. Sorry?
Wait, what?
What's it called? The not digital tabletop, whatever it is.
You mean tabletop simulator?
That's the one. But describe tabletop gaming and then describe tabletop simulator, please, so that people who don't know but have a vague interest can know.
Okay. Well, there's basically 3 different variations to it. So you got tabletop gaming in real life, so getting together with friends and actually playing at a table, having either physical...
On top of it, not under it.
Shut up, Brady.
having physical items may or may not matter. You can play Theatre of the Mind in person as well. We used to play with like Coles and Woolies, like little plushy things when we had nothing. We literally had nothing, and we just had a grid and whatever items we could find as the bad guys. That was OG when we first started out. Like,
It's badass.
do whatever
that's
you
pretty
want,
cool.
whenever you can. I think we had like 1 set of dice. That was it. So yeah, that's the in real life tabletop experience. Then you can play online. There's heaps of different platforms to use as far as online goes. But one of the better ones that I've found is definitely the tabletop simulator, which is amazing. So I think it's available through Steam, probably other places too. Yeah. And you can load in maps, you can load in 3D items. I even bought a mini from Hero Forge that I made into my character, and then Zach uploaded it into the Star Wars game for last night's session, which was pretty epic. So
we go back.
go back.
Pretend
Go
I know
back.
nothing. What's Hero
Okay.
Forge?
Hero Forge is where you create minis. So heroforge.com, I think it is. I think they're a Canadian-based company. You can go in there and you can make a miniature, and you can make it human, elf, all sorts of different races based on D&D and other sort of tabletop platforms. and you can customize the absolute crap out of it. There's probably 3 or 4 million different variations of customization. And then you can customize the colors, the bases, what the character is holding, whether it's a wizard or holding a staff, or a sneaky rogue holding a couple of daggers, whatever, or just a drunk holding a bottle and whatever else. It doesn't matter. You can just do whatever you want with it, which is cool. So you can create your character there. You can upload it as a 3D model, so you can use that in Tabletop Simulator. You can upload it as a 3D model that's printable, which I've done in the past as well. Or you can actually pay for it to be shipped to you if you don't have a printer and that sort of thing, which is a little pricey and takes a bit of time, but also really cool to have your own mini, printed for you. So that's what Hero Forge is. What else were we talking? Tabletop Simulator.
No, I had more questions, but I thought I should not fucking talk so much. So
not get too deep into the D&Ds. Yeah. So I didn't get to do anything unenjoyable this week, and I didn't have much time to really try anything.
Tabletop Simulator, just quickly. Yeah. I'm imagining the Yu-Gi-Oh scenario where someone puts a card down and then it actually appears in front of them 3D. Obviously, that's not what's happening. But is that kind of what's happening on your screen?
Sort of. It's like a 3D floating table, and you can modify the table. You can modify whether it's cards, a board. Like, you can play like Monopoly and stuff on it, or you can play Solitaire. Like, it's super moddable. Like, people just mod whatever they want into it, because that's the idea of the game, is that it's a base. It gives you a tabletop, and you can play whatever the hell you want on it.
Exactly right.
And
in the title, basically, Tabletop Simulator. So
basically, what you're saying is our podcast / YouTube channel is about a year too late, and this would have been really good to talk about when everyone was stuck at home.
Yeah.
Have you seen the case numbers today? We're going to be stuck at home soon anyway.
This is true. Yeah.
So just in time.
But you won't have to wear a mask at the stores, kids.
If you haven't got Tabletop Simulator, guys,
there you
Tabletop Simulator should sponsor us.
I was about to say that. I think we've thrown their name out enough times now, and maybe even Hero Forge while they're at it. That'd be really nice.
I'm still waiting on that coffee sponsorship.
So I created a character last night and sent it to Zach. He uploaded it into his game, into his campaign. We finished what we call season 1 of the Star Wars campaign. So it all sort of came to its end. We're fighting off against one of the huts.
Nice.
On Tatooine. So shit went down, and I revealed some dark past to the players and things like that. Very role play based. So we were very much playing our characters, as opposed to playing on a board and saying things we were going to do. We were very much ourselves, and I died. So it was a very deep and dark end.
You went down swinging from the sounds of it.
Yeah, it was very interesting. So yeah,
that's awesome.
I can't wait for Zach to DM us a sesh in the future.
So keen for it.
That'll be so good. He's a fantastic DM. So yeah, that'll be great. So no shit experiences whatsoever. Unfortunately, I had a good week.
Well, me on the other hand, actually, we'll just throw to a break right now first, because I need to whiz, and then we'll talk about mine, because I got a fair bit to cover. So let's throw to a break, go grab some bevies, throw up an ad from one of our plethora of advertisers.
As you can see, we're doing good. Look at this camera.
Yeah, I'm making the money.
I love that immediately when you did that, the autofocus went fucking ballistic.
No, that's just a shit screen. You need a screen sponsor like I do. So.
Perfect. All right, so Trev's Game Emporium. We've got the titles that everybody wants. We've got E.T. for the Atari 2600. We've got Superman 64. We've got Driver 3. We even have Highlander for the Commodore 64. We do gift wrapping. So stop on by to Trev's Game Emporium. So I hope you enjoyed the ad from our wonderful, wonderful sponsor that totally paid Justin all the money.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'd like to give you a bit...
Why was it a Barry White? Oh, yeah.
Everything he does is like Barry White. That's his creepy man voice. how have you we're like 5 eps in and you only just figure this out?
Because when he talks, it's not like that. But every time he has something to like strongly say, he's like, all right.
Yeah, no, this checks out, yeah. Anyway, back to the podcast.
Back to me not interrupting you. Yeah.
So, to give a bit of backstory on how we do this, we record all this through Zoom because we're people of the future. And Brady just wrote in chat, break, ? And I just like shit pissed myself. I was like, the fuck, what? Oh, fuck. I was just about to start on a whole tangent. I'm like, well, I guess we'll just awkwardly cut it there. And so that's why it's as awkward as it was.
Well, he's got to pee. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it just hit me out of nowhere. But yeah, so that's why that was awkward. And now if we throw it back to me, because I'm me and I can give it to me, I actually did the task. I paid
Fucking
money.
normie.
I paid money to play an MMO.
Oh, damn.
I picked up Star Wars: The Old Republic. Now it is free to play. So
feel
you
like
can
it's
skins. You got some skins, didn't you?
no. So
I feel like you cheated.
the free to play, there's a caveat with that. You can only pick like.
Caveat.
Shut up, you.
You were so nice. You were so nice to me. That
No, get
the
fucked.
language, I had to call your one time of getting it wrong.
I don't think I actually did get it wrong.
Yeah, I think it's caveat.
You called caveat. It's
What?
definitely caveat.
It can be pronounced either way.
Definitely not.
Oh my. I'm not following this
God.
because I'm going to destroy you. Anyway. So yeah, I actually paid money for it because if you don't, there's like, you can only play the base game, which I don't know how far that gets you. You can only pick one of 3 races for each like allegiance, whether it's Sith or Republic. And you're also limited in like items and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna actually try it, pay the money, get the full experience, and then I still played it like a single player game anyway because I'm a fucking weirdo and I don't have any friends.
From memory, it slows your XP as well, right?
Possibly.
Your XP is like really slow. It's like 25%.
And I think you have like a really low level cap as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just went all out. So I was like, you know what? To be quite frank, the whole reason that I wanted to do that is because I wanted to play as a Twi'lek. So that's what I did. And so, yeah, I've spent as much free time as I can playing it. I haven't put tons of hours into it. I'm only like level 20, I think, at the moment. And I've only just gotten off-world from the first planet. So far, story is pretty good. Gameplay's not too bad, but it is very MMO-ish. It's like walk up to person, click, press 1, press 3, press 4, wait for cooldown, blah, blah. So it's okay, but it's nothing amazing. The one thing that kills me, though, is how lifeless the like public areas are. So whenever you're out of a story region, the instantly respawning enemies make it feel like I'm not one to really give up to like atmosphere or anything like that, or like the realism of a world in games, but fuck me, it takes from it when you like kill something and then it's clearly just a barrier to XP. It's not something to flesh out the world. There's just these random clumps of enemies that you can just endlessly walk up to and just kill. That really kind of sucks. But at its core, it's not too bad. Like, it's Star Wars, which ticks all the right boxes for me. Voice acting's pretty good. The story so far is all right. But still not that involved that I'm thinking about paying for another month.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, to break that bias that you obviously have because it's Star Wars, if it was anything but, would you be sold on it at all? Or is it just because Star Wars you enjoy it? But
Star Wars is literally one of the only things that's keeping me trying.
yeah.
Honestly, like I'm in some of the fights and I'm thinking, fuck, I should reinstall Knights of the Old Republic 2. Because it's roughly the same game, but better. Because it feels like you're actually progressing a lot in the world. Like I've gotten off-world, I've advanced 20 levels, and realistically, all I did was do a bunch of random sort of fetch quests. That amount to me beating the like other potential apprentice for a Sith Lord. That's
So,
like it.
I don't have a Star Wars comparison, surprisingly, as the not Star Wars tabletop playing, not Star Wars online gaming guy. But I did play Destiny.
Yeah.
And whilst the themes are not identical, the theme of playing an MMO and getting to a certain point that is the price cap, I didn't know this. So I got into Destiny late because gaming isn't my priority as much as I enjoy it. Didn't know you buy the game and what you've bought is about 10% of a game.
Yes, provided you bought it after the DLCs. Yeah. So like I have Destiny 2 as well, so I vibe with
I bought Destiny 1.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Like I played through the story, hit the end and was like, sorry, what?
Yeah. Ouch.
So I imagine that's a somewhat similar experience. This is me trying to relate to your Star Wars experience.
But it's a very similar experience because like I played Destiny 2 when I think it was Forsaken was the DLC that came out. So I bought the game, got the DLC, started playing with mates, and I was having fun. And then I hit level cap and I'd completed like all the story missions. And then it was, okay, now you can play more story missions, but you get better gear now. And now you can play more missions again to get even better gear. And then you can play the raids. And I'm like, this shit. Like, it feels, I really want to stray away from using a sex analogy here, but MMOs are the edging of video games. Because you never quite get to the end. There's no penultimate ending. Yeah. There's no full conclusion to the story. Like, yes, it might get to like the end of a chapter.
Yeah.
Like if you're watching.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas like you play a single player game and you get to the end and it's like, oh, that was so satisfying, or like your soul crushed, or, you know, whatever your feelings are. But with an MMO, it's all about the grind. And while it's not bad, it's also not great for me personally. Like, I know this is going to vibe differently with different people, but I'm still very much in it's fun and I'll play my month's worth, but I probably won't be renewing after that.
Nah, dude, I totally understand it. I actually attended a online gaming disorder webinar out of it was so weird. When we started this, I started getting anime crap popping up on Facebook, and then this weird webinar came up on my feed, and I was like, wait, what? So I was like, you know what? Out of interest, I'm going to watch this webinar. It was only an hour, so I was like, sweet, cool. And I was like, you know, they're not going to prove shit, but they really did sort of sell it to me pretty well with the whole MMO thing and the whole, you know, captivating the audience and getting them all sort of addicted to this grind. And it's an addiction in itself, just the idea of leveling your character up and getting them stronger. And, you know, I think it appeals to people. I think it appeals to a lot of people, obviously, or else they wouldn't keep doing it over and over and over again in every way, shape, and form that they're doing it. And I think it works for people. You know,
the most So again, I can't completely relate, though I have played online MMOs and like I played Elder Scrolls Online, and we spoke about that experience previous episodes.
Yep.
But as to bring it back to me, like a jackass, there's a game.
Just throw
that's
your desk, mate.
My
Brady's recording from his fucking jumping castle.
That was my cat, and I'm so angry about it.
That's fine, man. That's fine. Anyway.
She's literally behind the cam. Fuck. No, there's a game that's both anime and online MMO, except that it's not online MMO. It's fake, and it's the first time I've ever seen that happen. So not surprisingly, it's an SAO thing.
Yep.
So Hollow Realization pretends to be an online MMO by creating NPCs that have typical
gamer
MMO
tags.
names.
Yeah.
And they're running around and you can recruit them as part of your party. But obviously the game got beaten by people because it's a one-player game pretending to be an MMO, which is the weirdest experience in the first place because no one's telling me what to do with their mother. Like, it's weird.
That's what we miss in this world.
But the weirdest part about it was they realized that players had already worked out, as with most MMOs, the glitching cheats that make you OP.
Like just
So
perfect loadouts and stuff, min-maxing.
Yeah. So instead of downgrading things, which like COD is famous for, right? Like they'll nerf a gun.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll nerf a gun or nerf a loadout in a particular way. They instead decided to roll with it, which is both the most hilarious and infuriating thing I've ever seen. So what people worked out was that you could change class in the pause screen, and you could use all of the support skills of that class and then pause and then change to another class and use all of those support skills and then change to another class. So basically you could use the support skills of, say, a tank that would up your defense a certain amount and then pause and then go to the attacker style one-sworded katana and increase your attack a certain amount and then pause and then change to dual wielding and increase your speed. So they worked out people could do that. So they created a DLC only playable by people skilled in that task.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which I'm both impressed and disgusted with, because if you paid for the DLC and weren't good at that, you would be super mad.
Yeah,
but also a game adapted to its players, which I'm not mad at.
Yeah, some games do, like a lot of online games try to listen to their community. Like, don't ever tell a community that because they will never believe you. But games do try and tailor for the community. The problem is that the community all think different things. Everyone's like,
mind, this is a fake MMO.
I know, but yeah.
So that's kind of weird that they created a DLC based at people who were only playing a single player game.
But that's fine, I guess.
I just thought it was really interesting point to bring up, regardless, because I don't have experience playing Star Wars online.
That's cool. But heading sort of back to what Justin was talking about with that webinar, there actually is an interesting thing as far as like marketing and why games are the way that they are these days. Have you ever noticed how much nearly every game has RPG light elements in it?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Pizza. Nice.
I just had pizza too.
I tried to mute it to not be a dick.
Yeah, but see, that's fine though. But now the audio listeners are disappointed, and that's fine.
Those guys should stop being peasants.
Yeah, come subscribe to YouTube. But yeah, so a lot of the reason why so many games have like RPG elements in them, and like it might be simple stuff, but like think of like the Assassin's Creed games. Like at the start, in the first game, there wasn't a whole lot. Like you could buy new. Actually, I don't even think you could get new robes and stuff in the first one.
Yeah, honestly, I don't remember.
But later on, you can get new robes, you can get better guns and all this sort of stuff. And then there's a full leveling system as of
Guns and
Origins.
Assassins.
yeah.
Origins.
Uh,
Yeah, Origins started to unleash the like.
as of Assassin's Creed 3, you could get guns.
Correct.
I know this.
Yeah,
do.
so they went backwards. Yeah.
But yeah, so so they do this because there's a way to draw in gamers because of the satisfaction of stats bars and always getting the best gear. That grind for gear gives off dopamine hits in players. So it makes them play games longer.
That's a dopamine thing, right?
Yeah, 100%. And once they found that out, they started just dropping it in things. And that's why crafting stuff is added to games as well, because crafting has similar elements for some players. For me, it just gives me the shits and makes me not want to play the game.
Yeah, for me, the same. Yeah, it's definitely that appeal. And what else was there? And that's the next part of it is then they drop the loot boxes and all the rest of it into the game as well.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the same thing.
You can't progress unless you have this item, or you'll be better if you have this item. So I don't mind
loot boxes. I don't mind DLC extra stuff, but what I do hate is when there's a paywall to your enjoyment to the game. Like,
I think they've realized
when it gets to a point where paying for something will make things be really cool, that's fine.
Yep.
But when paying for something means that you are OP against other players in an MMO is pretty much the point where I'm like, I'm not going to play this.
Yeah, so that's actually a thing that a lot of free-to-play MMOs were doing for a while. I don't know if it's still common. I'm not a big MMO guy.
I don't think it is common anymore. They were doing it for a while.
Yeah.
They were like, here, have the upper advantage on your enemies. And all
it was pay to win was what they called it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
But
And
everyone sort of really trounced on that very quickly. And I think that grew very old, very quick for a lot of players. And now
100%.
they're more basing it on, this looks cool, so buy this glitter fucking jacket or buy this cool little
I don't care about
balls.
cosmetic stuff, though. I care when they include a thing that makes you disgustingly better than everybody else, but it's behind a paywall.
Yeah.
And there's no way to grind for it. It is purely pay to get it, and it is game breaking. You need to have it to compete.
Which is where the whole thing, I don't know if you guys heard about it with, I think it was Star Wars Battlefront 2, the EA game. So I don't know when it came
but
out.
EA is not exactly got the best.
I know, but like Activision also have a bad history, yet Activision Blizzard have done a really good job with loot boxes in Overwatch, which I think is fantastic because basically all it gives you is cosmetic shit, nothing that affects the game at all. But EA with Battlefront put behind loot boxes and that, it was like Darth Vader and characters that like I can't remember what they're called, but basically you can hit a marker and then play as Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, shit like that. You had to play for X amount of hours to even be able to play as those characters. And when you play as them, it's like having an ultimate ability because, as you can imagine, Darth Vader and shit like that just dominate. But you could only play as the really low-level ones out of the box. And that all blew up. And big problems from there because paying to be better at a game is shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I agreed because it just ruins the playing field because most of us get into games as teenagers, which puts you way behind the paywall. And then some of us get into it in a middle ground between being a teenager and disposable income and giving a fuck about life to I still care about games and they're a lot of fun, but also I need to invest in my future, not in Star Wars Battlefront. So pay to win. I'm for games doing pay for extra content because I think that's fair enough. They went to the effort to create it. It's a good fun thing. I don't like pay makes you completely unfairly advantaged to all the people not paying who already bought the original game.
Yeah, I would like to interject a little bit with your discussion on DLCs because I do have a problem with some of them. DLCs should be real content. Like,
oh, for sure though, right?
Like Justin back in the day would remember like proper expansion packs that you'd get with games. Like you'd buy a game and they'd actually come out with like a full release expansion that you had to buy and then go install over the top of your game. And like it was all physical stuff. And that's what DLCs were like in the early days. And technically Bethesda ruined it all because of Oblivion Horse Armor.
Yeah, no, but what about oh, we talked about this already.
All right, cancel it.
Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah. So I don't know about the DLCs with it because I got all of them.
Amazing game, amazing story. However, if you wanted to actually know background on some of the characters, you needed to pay for the DLCs. So the guy with the snow background, that's DLC.
So the PC release, there's only one version and it comes with all the DLC.
Yeah, so no, you don't get that snow episode. And I think there's a few of the others. Basically, the background on the people who are with you, I imagine, is all the DLCs. But amazing game, amazing lore, amazing personalities to every person. But if you wanted to actually enjoy the game, and I'm still sure to this day, and we made a joke out of it on episode 3 that I simp over Final Fantasy 15 characters, that they didn't finish that game properly because you just hit a point where it just like goes from open world, have fun, enjoy, to just like you can only do this.
You're talking about the change in time period? Is that what we're talking about here?
Not even there. Just before that, it becomes suddenly linear as fuck. You cannot explore at all. There are no side missions. There's no running around. There is just purely the story. That's what you can do. Yeah.
So I did notice that, and that did kind of suck. And I do think maybe they were like, you need this game out. But I don't know. I think it still worked because I did still enjoy it without noticing it too much.
I enjoyed the fuck out of it. Don't get me wrong.
But yeah. So like, I think it really depends. So I see some DLCs in some games. Like for example, like I like playing wrestling games, and that should probably be
Really?
I love it. I have like all the WWE 2K games on Steam.
There's a genuine surprise to me.
Nah, I used to love wrestling from way back.
Yeah, it ain't a surprise to me at all.
Yeah, no, Justin knows. So the DLCs for that are shithouse. Like you'll pay like $30 for like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. It's like worse than a skin almost.
Yeah, it's fucking
all you
pathetic.
do is you get his like intro music, you get his introduction, like dance and whatever, and you get him, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's the worst. And so yeah, I absolutely hate DLC like that.
Yeah.
But we should probably move away from just constantly talking about shit things in games. Actually, wasn't that a topic that we were supposed to discuss?
I think it was what we started with, but nevertheless, you're wearing a shirt we briefly discussed in DMs. You're wearing a shirt that says tattoo your face. I'm wearing a shirt that is Superboy. We have 2 topics we can jump onto. Justin, since you're the one not involved, are we going to go Titans or tattoos? It doesn't matter to either of us because we're both invested. So you can just toss a coin if you feel.
Hey, I'm all about rolling some dice.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, closer to 1 is Brady. Closer to 20 is me.
That's a good idea. Right. Did you pick a D20?
I picked a D6 because I was going to go odds and evens. But
try again.
Cool. Closer to ones. Brady, was it?
Yeah,
All right.
because Brady's in that one.
We gotta...
Fuck.
Oh, you can actually see on this.
8.
I'm glad you've
now.
shown it to the camera, but we're not going to see your roll anyway.
Yeah, so
It was
wait,
an 8.
so that's closer to Brady. So we'll start
That's
with
closer to
Titans.
Brady.
Oh, did it hit 8?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Titans just because I've got the Titan shirt. And because I know Jace has been watching season 3.
Yes, he has.
So it means someone can talk to me. Justin, have you watched any of Titans?
I have not.
Do you even know what it is?
No.
That was my follow-up question.
Yeah, well, now he's
Titans-
getting cut off.
Attack on
Yeah.
Titan, you mean?
No. This is not an anime. This is a comic book reference.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So-
the brief, quick version. Do you want to go, Jace?
You might have better knowledge on it because I just know that it's basically the evolved version of Teen Titans and
Yeah.
the TV show version of it, of course,
Oof.
like live action.
No. Yeah, okay. So comic books wise, we have our main heroes in the Justice League, and then we have our kind of sidekicks turning real heroes, but they tend to be in their evolutionary stage, whether that is actual puberty in some of the heroes or in their development stage because they got their powers late. Teen Titans was called Teen Titans because of that reason, but in the TV series it's just Titans. Most people don't know this if they haven't read a comic book, but there were actually 4 versions of Robin in the main continuum. The series basically follows the first Robin. So there were 4 Robins. Dick Grayson, the one that most people are familiar with, his parents died in a circus incident. The second version, Jason Todd, who basically is an angry teen that Batman came across when Dick Grayson didn't want to be Robin anymore. The third version being Tim Drake, and the fourth version being his illegitimate / very legitimate because he was raped son. It's a big deal. But there are 4 Robins. Titans, the TV show, follows the first one as he creates his own team of superheroes, much like the Justice League, called Titans in the live action version.
I liked the boom of hitting your microphone there. That really,
Yeah, I was glad.
good.
But so Titans has a couple main heroes. We have in series 1, we have Dick Grayson as Robin as he grows into Nightwing, which is what the first Robin became. And then all the other heroes that follow him. So there's Raven,
Starfire.
Who else? Starfire, who is an alien. Raven is kind of a demon's daughter. Beast Boy, Gar. And I think there's not a heap in the first season, but the third season's recently out on Netflix in Australia. It's been out for a little while in the rest of the world because they have DC Universe and we don't in Australia. But basically, my love for Titans comes from, as you can tell from the shirt, Superboy, which is a very lame name for a hero who I think might be one of the most complex in the entire DC universe because he is a clone taken from the DNA of Clark Kent and Lex Luthor. And I think that creates such a fun character to play with. And in season 2, they did a lot. In season 3, gotta say, a little bit underwhelmed.
Yeah, I did like exploring his relationships and stuff. We probably shouldn't drag on it too much because Justin hasn't seen it and doesn't really know. But basically,
but I'm sure Justin knows who's both Clark Kent and Lex Luthor are.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
we're talking opposites, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny that I got into this for sort of the same but opposite reasons as you, Brady, because I fucking hate Superman. But I fucking love Batman. Like, I've even got Harley Quinn tattooed on me.
Yeah.
So, like, I have a big thing for Batman. So, like, Nightwing is a show with Nightwing. Like, sign me
Yeah,
up.
for sure.
And then seeing, like, Jason Todd and later on Tim Drake, it's like...
Gotta say, though, how do you feel about the actor for Jason Todd? Jason Todd, for those who don't know, and I don't feel like it's a fucking spoiler because Jason Todd was a character created somewhere in the 80s He was the second Robin after Dick Grayson, and he was an angry little shit before all the bad things happened to him. He eventually was killed by the Joker. Again, not a spoiler because 30 years old. And then he was resurrected and became a new character in the DC universe known as Red Hood. Jason Todd is much more fun as Red Hood than he ever was as Robin. And back in the day, fun comic book lore, there was a mail-in thing. So they did a mail-in vote amongst DC fans. So they literally sent out a thing to people who had DC comic subscriptions. Please tick a box and send it back to us like stamp mail.
Yeah.
Should Jason Todd survive this? And everybody said no, because they fucking hated him after Dick Grayson. Because Dick Grayson was the acrobatic kid that everybody wanted to see Batman mentor.
Dick Grayson was the perfect, like, he was Robin. Like, what more would you want from, like, someone that's named after a nimble bird than a fucking acrobat with anger issues and a similar but different sort of backstory to Batman, depending on which comics you read. Obviously, sometimes his parents were shot during a circus thing by criminals. There was others where it was a genuine accident. You know, there's all sort of different backstories, but he lost his parents, similar to Batman. He's acrobatic. He's the sidekick. It sort of works. Whereas Jason Todd was just basically an angry kid. Now, I actually like Jason Todd more as Arkham Knight.
Yeah, but that's game exclusive.
No, it isn't.
Is on brand for you.
It's comics. It was comics before it was game.
Red Hood, though.
He was Red Hood first, but there was a whole comic tangent that was Arkham Knight. But I liked him as Arkham Knight, but I totally agree. He is better as a villain, or some people like to brand him as an anti-hero. I don't really...
It depends which book you pick up, basically.
Yeah, so I thoroughly prefer him not as Robin. Like, in Titans, he's a fantastic Red Hood. Straight up. Thoroughly enjoy him as Red Hood.
Sure, except because I'm a comic book fan, the original version of why he's such an aggressive fuck is that he was already aggressive and angry, and then he died and was resurrected by the Lazarus Pit, which makes you angry in general. So you combine that with the fact he was already angry and you get a lethal version of a superhero. Basically, he's Batman with guns. That's what Red Hood essentially is.
Yeah.
But the TV show does I don't want to do spoilers because it is reasonably new, but a drug-affected version is why he is in the state that he is.
Yeah, but
I didn't love that.
Yeah, but like there is later parts that we should also not spoil that sort of try and explain that. Why they use the drug because of the other incident with the Lazarus Pit. But yeah, either way, I am thoroughly enjoying it so far. I don't think I've finished the season yet. I'm on like episode 12 or 13, something like that.
Shit.
But yeah, it's pretty damn awesome. And if you do like superhero stuff, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's a good watch. It's got dark elements from Batman. It's got the absurdity over the top stuff that you see in Superman stuff. It
definitely does.
It's got some really good vibes that should get with anyone that likes superhero stuff. I think that's
cool. I like it because I get to see Connor Kent, which is like the clone. That's my favorite Superboy because there's been a few in recent DC history, right? There's been quite a few different versions, and I could tangent on it for quite a while, but like just quickly, the most recent one that comic books love is the son of Lois and Superman. and I just find him much more boring. I enjoy the clone Lex and Clark. I think the mix of evil genius and Boy Scout are fantastic to play with as a character and storyline wise. And I'm sure as someone who writes storylines, Justin, I'm sure you can sort of vibe with how much more fun that would be.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. I don't really. I'd have to watch it. Like, I totally get the Lex Luthor and Superman thing because I watched Smallville, but yeah, I'd have to see how it actually works.
Yeah, they had a version in that, but again, I felt like it was not well cast.
Yeah. I have my issues with Smallville. I was not the biggest fan of the show, but then again,
I haven't finished it, so
I'm not. I feel like Superman is a shit superhero, and I'm going to say this because it's like having God mode. Like, they're just like, oh, grab every ability and just throw it at this guy. And what's he?
It just depends on the writer, though, right?
Yeah,
like, so if you get a good writer, they play to his psychological problems.
I get
instead
that,
of his power problems. If you get a shit writer, they go, "Yep, his one weakness is the green glowy rock. Throw that at him." But if you get a good writer, they go, "He's a bit insecure about this, despite all his overpoweredness. This insecurity will destroy that."
Yeah, I don't know. I still struggle with it because it's basically God, but he's weak to amethyst. Like,
yeah.
Like, he just can't go into a hippie shop. Like, you know, I just feel like they've just thrown too much at him. Whereas, like, you look at the Flash, all he's got for him is speed. That's it. There's, you know, all these other caveats.
But they OP that to the shit out. He can time travel.
Yeah.
He can undo events as they happen.
So can Superman. He literally turned back time in Superman 2.
Yeah, we have moved beyond. That's not necessarily.
If he can do it. My point is, like, and that's the other thing is, like, it's like, how do you introduce characters that are, you know, better than Superman at something?
Yeah.
Oh, look, Flash, he's really fast. Yeah, Superman is too. We don't really need you, man. Like, I don't even know why you bother, eh? But yeah, like, that's just my problem with him. That and yeah.
What's the tattoo your face shirt? Because we segued this with we both are wearing shirts of shit we want to talk about recently.
So, well, this is just a shirt I love, but I have been tattooed recently. I've definitely been tattooed recently, and I got
recently. Not just your entire life. You weren't born this way?
No, only recently. I got my first one the other day.
Oh,
flawless. Anyway, I got a Mass Effect tattoo. Chance to flex.
Sorry, try again. Are you flexing?
No, I'm not. I'll take my shirt off though, and take them from YouTube. But yeah, so I actually dedicate everything on my right arm except the text on my knuckles, but everything else on my right arm is all video game related because I am that damn passionate about it. Mass Effect was just my latest edition because I've put 230 hours into the latest release, which came out in May. So I've finished that game nearly 3 times. I'm currently playing through it on the hardest difficulty, completing all missions. So that's what I'm doing, and that's why I dedicated an entire tattoo to it. But that's what I do. I get this stuff put on me permanently. And I know Justin at least has one tattoo about a passion that he has. It's not necessarily related to this show, but I don't know what other tattoos he has. So I know, yeah.
Hold up. I didn't know Justin had a tattoo.
You got to be joking, right?
Have you not seen him naked?
Oh, no. Hang on. I have seen the chef one.
Come on, man.
I've seen the chef one.
I was actually thinking of the one on the back of your neck.
Back of my neck, yeah. Yeah, so a lot of our childhood, Jace and I just rollerblading a whole lot. So back of the neck.
That's the logo of Razer, which is the brand that Justin used to rock all the time.
Yeah, still got a pair in the shed, gathering dust, but still got them. But I think that's the importance of tattoos. That's what's great about them, is they just signify something important to you. It doesn't matter if it's important to anyone else; it's important to you. So I got the stones, chef life.
Nice.
Yeah, so I don't have that many. I got a really shit one on my foot. So.
What's on your foot? You
I
can't say that and get away with it.
We'll upload a photo later, but it was a generic one. I was 18. I was like, I want a tattoo. I'm going to get a tattoo. This one looks cool. Picked it out of like one of those books that they have.
Yeah, flash books.
Yeah, so just picked it out. And I was like, that's cool. It's a dragon. I can justify it because Year of the Dragon was when I was born, so this makes sense.
God.
So I got on my foot, and then later on, I realized that it is legit, almost identical to Angelina Jolie's side tattoo that she got.
No.
Legit. So we'll put up a thing like if we can find it still.
Yeah. So Justin Jolie is your new handle for everything.
Ain't even mad.
Perfect.
She's banging.
Perfect.
I want to see some fish lips on you.
And so you don't have a D&D tattoo yet, do you?
No, but I definitely am getting one. Yeah.
Totally should get like a D20 on the palm of your hand. Brady knows that's a fun experience.
I was going to say, palm of your hand tattoos, just, I can't, there are a lot of, so this has been done twice. And I might put an image on screen of what it's, the original source material, but yeah, palm of your hand tattoos, go for it. Come on, I got no complaints.
Yeah, my wife's one looks fantastic, and it's held up for like 10 years or something. Like it's old as.
Damn.
But yeah, you should definitely do that. Now, Brady, do you have anime tattoos? I know you've got a Superman tattoo, don't you?
I do. I wasn't going to do my tattoos in this episode, considering how late we're running. But
we'll just cut pretty much everything you say. We'll just cut that out.
That's fair. Yeah,
we only run for 10 minutes. Then we need more content.
Is that visible?
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah.
So
looks like Angelina's dragon.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then both my legs. So I will probably just insert a picture because it'll be challenging at this point to
stand on the chair.
Do the thing. But yeah, lots of anime. So I have Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Sonic, Full Metal Alchemist, Kingdom Hearts, which is not technically anime, it's a game. Avatar, again, not technically anime, and Final Fantasy VII. So
not technically a good Final Fantasy.
Light guys on one side, and then bad guys / dark guys on the other side. So we have Vegeta, Sonic, Meowth, and Riku. I've forgotten, which is horrible because I'm on skin. The bad guy from Avatar. Roku? No, Roku is the dragon first Avatar.
Wait, is he?
Zuko.
Ah, yep. Fair enough.
Zuko.
I've only seen Avatar once, so I'm fine.
Yeah. So Zuko's on the other leg, and I intend to finish it off with Sephiroth, Wrath, and whoever else is missing at that point. Yeah, no, anime tattoos from the knee down. Started when I was 20-ish, so that's just what I wanted to do. It's been a passion that long, which is pretty cool. I'm glad that all of us actually have done passion tattoos, and for the fun of it.
Well, to be fair, I also have a whole lot of unpassioned tattoos. Like, I just have a whole bunch of just terrible tattoos. Like, I got Piss Angel tattooed across my thigh. Like,
I was going to say, no one could possibly guess that you're not deeply invested in every piece of ink on your skin from this video.
Well, like, if people know the story behind how I get my face tattoos, that's always a wild ride. I literally show up and I just say to my artist, Ran, I'm like, just fuck my shit up. And I just give him a rough idea on what I want. I'm just like, yeah, just some scribbly shit, add some teal in there, let's go for it. And he just does his thing. And
wild.
I'm all for it. But
I think
anyway,
it suits you to a T, though. Like, not that mentality. That definitely suits you. But I've never looked at your tattoos and gone, well, that fucked you up. Like, I've always looked at every time you've got a new tattoo, even the face ones, and gone, yep, it just adds to more of the you that I've known, but now I can see it.
yeah, well, that's really strange to get a compliment from you.
I know. It must have been very hard to do.
First for everything. You can see how we struggled to get the words out, though. You know, you're just like, how do I say things without being a prick?
Yeah. But it's me talking, so I can't even just interrupt him. I like that we've just turned this into just shitting on Brady. This is great.
All night.
It's
This
probably
episode's
been
on the up
coming
and
for
up.
a while.
But yeah, I think that pretty much sums up everything we needed to talk about tonight. So
Yeah, I think it's a good episode.
yeah, plenty of shit talk. So thanks to everyone that stopped by. You're all lovely people, but I'm lovelier. And go check out our socials. We have socials. BX Discourse on Twitter, Basement Discourse on Instagram and YouTube, and then find us on Spotify with that same name that I just said. And there'll be links in the description that Brady will put in, because if he doesn't...
I have minimal tasks to do. I should do them.
Yes, correct. All right, perfect. I think that's it.
All right.